Gunpowder or black powder is a simple mixture of rock salt, sulfur, and charcoal. The hardest part about making gunpowder is finding those three ingredients, and once you find them they mix together to make an explosive black meal. Be very careful when handling gunpowder and store it away from heat and flames. Read more to learn more about how gunpowder is made. Part 1 of 2. Gather components. Bring some rock salt. Rock salt is the common name for potassium nitrate, and rock salt was manufactured in the period when the use of gunpowder spread from bird guano or horse urine and other manure soils. This rock salt is used in many fertilizers, as part of science projects, and in certain food recipes. You have several options for bringing this salt. Look for a stump remover or a stump remover product from gardening stores. Rock salt is usually sold under this name. You can also find it as rock salt, nitrate, or potassium nitrate. Buy it online. If you search for rock salt, you will get a lot of results, and you can order a bottle of it to be delivered to you easily. Make it yourself from a cold compress. Cold compresses that can be bought for a few dirhams and that relieve muscle pain contain sodium nitrate and water, and can be used to make rock salt. Make it with urine. Of course, this is the most difficult way to get rock salt, but some fans of gunpowder prefer to make it from scratch. To do this, you can fill a barrel with a sink, valve and filter below it with manure, urinate in it, fill it with water, and after 10 months dry it on trays. Get charcoal. You can use ordinary charcoal that you buy for cooking on your grill, and you will need to grind it into a fine powder. If you like traditional methods, make your own charcoal by filling a metal barrel with 8 cm pieces of willow or other wood, then place the barrel in a torch with the lid slightly open above, to allow air to flow. Let the burner burn very hot for 4 to 6 hours and then open the barrel. You will notice that the wood has been charred into small pieces of homemade charcoal, which is excellent for use in making gunpowder. Obtain pure elemental sulfur. This natural substance is often used to acidify the soil, so you can find it in gardening stores or online resources that sell garden supplies. Pure sulfur is formed naturally and is mined in the U.S. state of Texas, Italy, and other locations around the world. Part 2 of 2. Grind the ingredients into small granules. Use the pestle and mortar hand to grind all the ingredients into a fine powder. Grind each ingredient separately and clean the pestle and mortar between uses. You can use a ball mill to grind the ingredients if you plan on making a lot of gunpowder. The ball mill can be used to safely grind and mix powders. Weigh the components of gunpowder. Using the correct amounts of ingredients is critical when making gunpowder. Calculate the percentage of weight for each ingredient using a small scale to weigh the different ingredients. Here's what you need. 74.8% of rock salt, 13.3% of coal, 11.9% of sulfur. Mix the ingredients together. Wetting different types of powder before mixing them together is the safest method, but it is not the only one. Put all kinds of powder in the pestle and wet it for safety, then grind them together using a hand mortar for 10 minutes or more. If you are using a ball mill, grind the charcoal and sulfur together for 4 hours first, then add the rock salt and grind the mixture for an additional 24 hours. Be very careful with the black powder once you mix it. Do not smoke or light a flame near it, and keep it away from heat. Try adding water. Some claim that adding 8% water improves the combustion of gunpowder. Continue mixing the gunpowder, adding water in small, gradual amounts until the gunpowder has the consistency of thick clay or mud. Shape it into a ball when finished. If you mix gunpowder with water, you will need to break up the powder or break it into small pieces. Pass the gunpowder ball through a kitchen sieve to break it into small pieces, then let the pieces dry on a sheet of paper. Once again, we remind you of the need to be very careful when dealing with powder. Be careful all the time. Store gunpowder safely. Put the gunpowder in a special case or container designed specifically for it. You can store it in a fireproof box in a cottage or anywhere outside your home. In no case should the gunpowder be stored in a stable place where it does not come into contact with any flame or high heat. You can purchase canisters or containers of gunpowder at home supply stores or online. Some recommend using empty, unused paint cans to store gunpowder. The longer the ball mill operated, the stronger the gunpowder, and as a rule of thumb for any fiery mixture, the finer the powder, the faster it burned. Keep any flying debris, such as gravel or metal, away from the mill, as it may hit it and cause an explosion. Put on gloves. Wear a mask. Do not smoke near gunpowder. Wear heavy clothes. Do not use a metal bowl and a metal spoon, the spark may ignite the mixture. Use non-sparking media in the ball mill such as lead. If you are running the ball mill on a table, remove the screws and only use the glue. Ball mills should never be operated in living quarters. It should be operated outside in a place without people. Use explosive signals to warn others of danger. Also use some protective walls, so that if the mill goes off, the crumbs or splinters won't hurt anyone. Get away from the mill while it's running. Do not use this gunpowder with fireworks as this is illegal and extremely dangerous. To protect yourself, place sandbags around the mill so the blast goes into the air. Ultra pure sulfur. Charcoal, the higher the mesh, the better. Potassium nitrate, rock salt. Balance. Pestle and mortar hand or ball